Hi there, this is Rob, and this is the extended version of the overnight overview for Friday. Some subscribers asked me to give a detailed review because Thursday's trading decision was not as straightforward as usual. Let's first take a look at the odds sheet, and as you can see, the one index security whose averages columns are showing up in green is ES. This means ES met the minimum criteria to consider taking a long trade. Price action in ES was not favorable, but internals and seasonality are both strong enough to bring the averages up to a point where the minimum criteria was reached. Also favoring the idea of a long trade were some studies shown in the Edge Finder. But one caveat with those studies was that they all required to close above the 200-day moving average, and while ES did close above the 200 MA, both SPY and SPX closed below it. In the trading room, I examined how those same studies would have performed without the 200 MA filter. The idea was that if the results still appeared bullish, then I need not be concerned about SPY and SPXs crossing down. But when I reran those tests, we saw that closes below the 200-day moving average for all the studies I examined no longer showed an overnight bullish tendency. This caused me to discount the Edge Finder studies. So if I was going to be taking a long trade, it would need to be based solely on the odds sheet. While I don't trade the other index securities shown on the odds sheet, they're there for a reason, and that's to see if the evidence they provide confirms or negates what ES is suggesting. None of them confirmed yesterday. In fact, most of them showed profit factors of less than 1, indicating a possible bearish edge. ES's seasonality number was strong, so if I were to take a trade, it would have been using a 16-point stop and an 18-point target. But really, the only way I could take such a trade is if I decided to completely ignore everything on the odds sheet except for the information in the ES row. I did not do that, and as I indicated to subscribers, I passed on an overnight trade last night. So let's take a look and see how the night played out. After closing poorly into the bell, ES did rebound in the early part of the night and rallied as much as 6 points above Thursday's settlement. But the bounce topped out at 2 a.m., and it was nearly a 20-point drop from there down to the low just after 8 a.m. Even with such a wide range, neither the standard stop nor target would have been hit. In the end, ES opened the day with a gap down of 5.75 points. It was a nice signal to have avoided. It's also a great example of why I look at so many things when making a determination on an overnight trade. They obviously don't all work out in my favor, but by considering the information provided by other highly correlated index securities, traders may often be able to make better decisions than a simple mechanical system would allow for. One misconception about overnight edges is that it is a system. The stats provided on the odds sheet are generated to act as a decision-making aid, and while I can show many systems based on those that would have performed well over time, the ideas and approaches I try and teach here are ones that hopefully allow traders to logically think through decisions utilizing statistical information. It's an approach that has served me well over time, and if applied with consistency, there's a good chance it'll continue to be a solid approach. Despite my not taking a trade tonight, I will mark this video with a trade result tag so that it can be referred to in the future. Thanks for listening, sorry for going a little long, and have a great weekend.